West Michigan head football coach Bill Cubit, wrapping up media day today. Coach, talk about media day today. Do you like having media day? Getting asked all these questions. You know, it feels like it's a lot of pressure put on you. Everyone's asking every sort of different type of question.
Well, I think it's good because we get our message out to a lot of people out there. I think it's really media day for the fans out there. That's where football season starts. They'll be following the Broncos on the internet and through the media. So it's a good thing. You know, the only bad thing is about our players got to be standing around a lot, and they've got the kind of camp ways going on right now. But they'll have some time in there. We'll send them down there and go out to practice and have some fun.
Well, open the season up at Michigan, and they have Denard Robinson. What are your plans coaching-wise to kind of maybe not stop, but maybe contain him?
Yeah, I don't think you're ever going to do that. I mean, he's such a good player. The biggest thing is don't let him make too many big plays, because when he does make some plays, the crowd gets in it too. We just gotta get to him where he's not making the big long plays, demoralizing us, and also getting the crowd involved there. But he's such a great player. He's you hope to do it, but that's easier said than done.
One of the things about having the Central game pushed early into the year, early into the season, I feel like a lot of people have been talking about it earlier in the season than what you normally do. Do you feel like the players might overlook some of these earlier games and look forward more to the Central game more than instead of focusing on the first two games at hand?
No, I don't think so. I think our guys. So we have a meeting every morning, and we sit down and we lay out the day's plan and tell them to focus on it. We call it the process, and so don't worry about anything else. Just get done what we're talking about today. And I think our kids are doing a really good job of it. They've been through it numerous times, and then we got some older guys that have been through it, and they're educating the young guys. So I don't see that as an issue. I think the kids right now are learning what defense is getting put in, and where they align and the adjustments they make, and offensively the plays.
There's been a lot said about you guys maybe needing a number 2 receiver to complement Jordan White. Some have even said that Rob Arnheim might be that guy. What's your opinion on that matter? Well,
I think I think we got a lot of options. I mean, it's going to be to a point now where the number 2 guy. We got some. At times we've only had 2 receivers. Maybe we had 3 out there, but I think we got 4 or 5 candidates out there, and really it's what the defense dictates. Where you're going to throw the football there. So the good thing about it is I think we got guys who can get open on the other side, whether it's Rob, whether it's Caleb, whether it's Ansel Ponder, or Eric Monet, or one of the young kids. So I think we got a lot of options there, and Jordan will be I think the focus, but at the same time, there's going to be a lot of other guys, and maybe that second guy's not catching like last year 90 balls or 80 balls, but if he catches 50-some and another guy catches 50-some, we probably may be more dangerous.
When we were in the media room earlier, the question got brought up about some of the incoming receivers this year, and it looked like you were holding back a smile a little bit when talking about them. Just got to talk about the potential that they have and how excited you are to have them on the team this year.
Yeah, they're a couple of them are really they're well beyond their years of high school. They understand what it takes out there to run great routes. They're catching the ball really well, and the speed factor it really factors in, especially a few of those guys there. So I'm really happy. I mean, it's still early, but from what I've seen there, I think we hit the jackpot on those kids.
Sticking with the wide receivers, Josh Gaddis is the first-year wide receiver coach this year. How has he done so far during the year, coaching up the players, and your opinion of him so far?
Well, he's been outstanding. He brings high energy out there in the practice field every single day. In meetings, he's the exact same way, and you can see the respect that the kids have of him, and I think there's more sense of urgency with those guys there. And Josh is a valuable addition to our football team. Gets along great with the staff and brings a lot to the table.
This will be the 3rd season that your son Ryan will be the quarterbacks coach. Talk about the job that he has done, and how much excitement do you get knowing every day you get to come and work with your son?
Well, it's hard to say sometimes because he's recruiting-wise, he's brought up 17 guys down there in Florida. He's coached a 30,000-yard passer every time. But the thing that for me is the comfort level that the teaching he's going on there with the quarterbacks is exactly in the same philosophy as what we've had. Because he played in the system, he understands what we need to get done. I think the kids respect him. They understand where to go, and he gives us valuable experience on the breakdowns of tapes. So I don't really get to see him as much as everybody thinks it is. It's like a day in the park in here. I mean, we're going a lot of different ways, but the comfort level for me is what's best about him being here.
You guys have a wonderful set of running backs. Earlier, you kind of hinted at Drake might be at quarterback. Are you looking to have one workhorse running back, or are you going to have more of a running back by committee?
Well, I don't know if it's running back committee. Somebody's going to get more carries than anybody else, and right now, if you had to ask me, it'd probably be Tevin. He's got to do a little bit better job in his pass protection because we do throw it on first or second down, and you just can't throw him in there and run it. So, but there's Brian Fields. I think gives us a lot of opportunities. The guy that nobody really talks about that really is a good football player is Antoine Scriven, who does so many things for us. And then, of course, you got Aaron Winchester, who are starting a little bit of try to get some playing time over there on defense. But he can do a lot of good things for us. And then Darian Chance is a little bit different back, but he's a guy that we got to get the ball to too. So, but I would say we're going to have one guy with over 50% of the carries at least, probably in the upper level of 60, and then figure it out from the other end and what they can do best.
With Winchester, do you see his move to cornerback being permanent, or is it more of like trial right now to see how he does?
Yeah, I think what we'll do is wait till Sunday and figure out, give him a chance today and 2 days tomorrow. Figure out where it's at to be fair to him. I think he gives us a lot of things over on the other side. He's a hard-nosed guy. He gives us a lot of character, a lot of hardness, and if he can fit in talent-wise in the scheme, he'll get reps over there. And we know we can always bring him over there on our side, which we've done in practice. He practices both sides. He comes over there and does a good job for us on the other side, but he knows what he's doing there. So hopefully, the plan works out that he gives us some reps over on both sides.
You've been quoted in calling the secondary 6 out of the 9 guys are from Florida. You call a bunch of guys from Florida who are fast and can play. Talk about the secondary this year. I mean, they're also very young too. Talk about the importance of them and what they have to do to help on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, they're like you say, they're quick, they're fast. I think the first group out there is understanding the schemes. Where last year it was all new to them. They weren't physical or ready to go play major college football because they're young freshmen. But they've come out there and they've had an off season to get themselves better. And then the second group we brought in, they're pretty good too. They Justin Curry and Trevor Ishmael and Montavious Atkins. All 3 of those guys are really talented players. So it's a pretty good group. We think we got some guys there, and of course then we got Johnny Henry, who didn't play last year, and that guy can run. So there's a lot of interchangeable parts back there, and we can get some packages like dime and nickel to get a little bit better player out there, a little faster player, and so a lot of those guys will have roles there.
You're returning 8 out of your 11 starters defensively from last year. Even in practice, those guys have been flying around. Can you talk a little bit about your expectations from the defensive side of things?
Well, I think they're. What I like what Dave does is he puts his best guys out there. No matter, the size does matter, but speed matters more. And he's not, where he goes out there and he says, "Oh, I can't play there because he's too small." Whatever the guys, he uses their speed out there. Hazel, I think, creates a lot of mismatches for guys. Him coming off the edge, he's so fast. But then when you have a guy like that, you can almost neutralize them. You can double team those guys. You got to have somebody inside. The Bowles and the Nowak guys are doing a pretty good job there. But on the perimeter, we're seeing more speed than we've done in the past. And that's where people take care of matchups. That's where everybody looks at, can I beat those interior guys? And now we got a little better player, so now it becomes a little bit problematic for the other team, which gives Paul, Drew, Freddie, Travante to get to the passer.
We interviewed a bunch of other players earlier today, and the question that we were kind of asking, joking around, we're talking about the dreadlocks on the team. This is a lot of players with dreads on the team. Who, in your opinion, has the best dreads on the team?
Nobody. I'll tell you, Jesse York had one today. He came in there, and I said, well, "What are you going to do about it?" I said, "Coach, I'll get rid of a bunch of rubber bands in there, but it doesn't make a difference to me. I mean, how they wear their hair, it used to be where it was a problem way back, but the kids, they're respectful in what they're doing, and some of them look pretty good. Now, we did see Anthony Parker cut his dreads, which is a totally different looking guy now.
You just spoke a little bit about the speed on the perimeter defensively. Can you talk a little bit about the progression of Lewis Toler?
Well, he's better. I think, again, another year. He played as a redshirt freshman, so he had that 1 year. But really where you see the second year of playing football, I think that's where you start seeing they understand the game a whole lot better. And he's looked really good, better than I thought he did last year. Last year, had a lot of good plays, and then had some plays that weren't so good. He's got to eliminate those big mistakes in some plays, and I think he's doing a better job of that right now.